The fact that you can apply for a credit card anytime you want doesn't mean that you have to jump gung ho on every opportunity to actually apply for a credit card, right? There are some procedures, there are some strategies you need to follow here. And I want to share with you a few pro tips that you need to actually implement today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, when it comes to getting the best credit card for you, for your specific situation. Okay. So let's go back to credit card application frequency 101. The big question is, how often should you apply for a new credit card? Now, the question is really loaded when you really think about it, because the right time to apply for a new credit card is when it makes sense for you financially. That's the key word, financially. Not when you see an offer, not when you see, like when they tell you you're pre-qualified, blah, 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 you want to jump on a credit card app, you want to jump and apply right away. No. Because see, credit card issuers are in business to make money. So they will actually dangle in front of you a lot of opportunities like carrots and, asking you, trying to tempt you to apply for a new credit card when you don't need a credit card in the first place. So if somebody actually presents you with an opportunity of a credit card pre-qualification offer, ask yourself, do I need this credit card? Does it make sense for me monetarily? Does it make sense for me financially? If it doesn't, you want to run as fast away from this credit card pre-qual offer as Usain Bolt will actually run a 100-meter dash. Okay, so this is important. So let's say if you have a cashback card, but you have taken on a new job that requires you to travel more frequently, for example, you might want to add a travel rewards card to take advantage of those trips. Or maybe you took on some debt in the past that's quickly accruing high interest. A new card with a great balance transfer offer could help you get back on track. Okay, so of course, it's also smart to know the signs of having too many credit cards. So you may want to reconsider the number of credit cards you have in general if you are falling behind on regular payments or if annual fees are eating up too much of your budget. So this is the kind of mental jiu-jitsu I want you to have, the kind of mental discipline I want you to have, the kind of mental, I would say, the kind of analysis I want you to have overall. Okay, so whenever you do decide it's time to open a new card account, it's a good idea to wait at least 90 days between new credit card applications, and it's even better if you can wait a full 6 months. So let's quickly talk about why should you wait between credit card applications? Because a lot of folks are like, yeah, I don't have to wait because when they do a hard pull, they would just probably, like my credit score will maybe lose 5 to 10 points. So why should I just wait? I mean, I would rather lose 5 to 10 points and seize the perceived opportunity that I get from the pre-qual offer, right? So now, what I want to say here is that there are two primary reasons why you should wait between credit card applications. The first is that 10% of your FICO credit score is based on how much new credit you have. So this is really important, okay? How much new credit you have. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We love having these kinds of conversations every now and then. So, two factors. 10% of your FICO credit score. And so basically when you apply for a credit card, the lender conducts a credit inquiry, often called a hard credit check or hard pull, right, on your credit reports. So your credit score generally dips after each credit check, though it should bounce back fairly quickly. So if there are too many recent credit inquiries on your account, your credit score could take a more significant hit. Why? Because lenders view a lot of recent credit inquiries as a signal that you might be planning on taking on a lot of debt. So it is what it is. So that's option number one. Option number one, the fact that 10% of your credit score is based on how much new credit you have. The other reason why you should wait before applying for a new credit has to deal with credit card application restrictions. You know the Chase 524 rule, for example. Some credit card issuers, including Chase, automatically decline credit card applications if you have already opened a certain number of credit cards within a specific time period. Okay, so if you want to give yourself a better chance of being accepted, waiting before credit card applications is really a smart move. Okay, something you need to think about. And so we have the Chase 524. Citi also has a similar restrictions. American Express also does have that. Capital One and Bank of America. So listen, be careful and be patient. Okay, this will help you a lot. This will help you increase your chances of approval for a future card. Another question I really want to ask when we talk about credit card application frequency, I mean, people are asking about, can you apply for multiple credit cards in one day? I just want to say one thing. One thing. Technically, you can apply for as many credit cards as you want in a single day. Yes. There is actually, in theory, there's no limit on the number of credit card applications you can turn in. I mean, nobody's actually restricting you. We're in a free economy. Everybody has free will and free, it's only a matter of what you want. But hey, listen, everything that is available for use is not actually good for you. Simply because it's possible doesn't mean you should try it. You should do it, okay? Applying for a lot of credit cards on the same day, however, is not a great idea. Since your credit score temporarily drops after every new credit inquiry, applying for multiple credit cards in a single day could hurt your credit score more than you realize, okay? And don't you listen to those folks who are lying to you by telling you if you apply for multiple credit cards in a single day, everything will actually count for a single credit pool, single hard pool. This is not true. In addition to that, when you apply for more than one credit card on the same day, the credit card issuers may see that you are sending out multiple applications at once. And if you have excellent credit, this might not be an issue. But if your credit is less than excellent, less than stellar, those lenders could actually be less likely to accept your applications, okay? So instead, they will be wondering why you need so much credit all at once and whether you will be able to manage it responsibly. So it's one of those things where you have to constantly manage your reputation, your credit worthiness, and make sure that you are actually in sync with the type of a credit card that you are applying for. And one thing I want to say here is that, don't apply for multiple credit cards in one day. Don't apply for multiple credit cards within a month or within 3 months. As I said before, our team, through extensive research, has found that you are optimizing your chances for better terms and conditions, a higher credit limits. If you could just wait anywhere from 30 days to 6 months. So anywhere from 3 months rather to 6 months. So 90 days to 190 days. 180 days, okay? And this is something we have seen across the board, really. Across the board. Let me give you a bonus here. If you have made it so far, I really want to reward your loyalty here. And it's really important that when we talk about credit card application frequency, that we actually, wait a minute, we hold back and we look at credit card issuer restrictions. I spoke to you earlier about the Chase 524. I spoke to you about Citi restrictions. Citi's restrictions. I spoke about Amex's restrictions. I spoke about Bank of America. So all those players, they're just trying to restrict. They are trying to make sure that you are, like you are holding your horses. And this makes sense because they are covering their asses, okay? And so most credit issuers do not formally acknowledge restrictions on how often you can apply for new credit cards, but that doesn't mean those restrictions do not exist. Customers and card enthusiasts often learn about the rules through their own experiences. Okay, so this is really important. And by the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's conversation, the topic. We are speaking about credit card application frequency. So how do you boost your chances of actually being approved anytime you apply for a card, okay? And so here is some information that we have actually seen through our research when it comes to credit card issuer restrictions. So you have American Express. So American Express limits cardholders to no more than 5 American Express credit cards and no more than 10 Amex credit cards with no preset spending limits, which used to be charge cards. American Express also reportedly limits cardholders to no more than 2 card applications in a single 90-day period. 2 card applications. What about Bank of America? So BOA also has their own application restrictions. So they use what they call the 2-3-4 rule. So you can only be approved for 2 cards within a 30-day period, 3 cards within a 12-month period, and 4 cards within a 24-month period. Okay, and so this rule applies to only Bank of America credit cards. not all cars. So if you've taken out 4 cars from other credit card issuers in the past year, you can still apply for a new credit card with Bank of America. So this is really cool. We love this a lot. We love this flexibility. We love this. This flexibility is just fantastic. Let's talk about the Capital One application restrictions. So Capital One also does have application restrictions, and so they actually reportedly, based on our research, they limit cardholders to one new Capital One card every 6 months. And you can also have 2 Capital One personal credit cards open at any given time, though co-branded Capital One cards and Capital One business credit cards don't fall under this restriction. Okay, so it's really important to actually see which applies to what. Okay, but Capital One is a very popular card issuer, so they're very clear. They're very careful not to actually dampen, I would say, borrowers' enthusiasm for their card. Okay, by actually having too many restrictions. And we also have the most famous of all here, and which is Chase. So Chase application restrictions. So Chase's 524 rule is probably the best known credit card application restriction. So basically what it says is that if you have taken out more than 5 new credit cards in the past 24 months, whether they are Chase credit cards or cards from another issuer, Chase will generally not accept you for a new credit card. Okay, so this is important for you to really think about that. And the 524 rule is in place to prevent credit card churning and to ensure that Chase's top travel credit cards are less likely to fall into the hands of people who only want to claim a valuable sign-up bonus. So those are really important elements. But overall, one thing I want to say here is that whether you're talking about Chase application restrictions, Capital One applications restrictions, Bank of America application restrictions, American Express application restrictions, all of those cards are meant, again, to help you. They're there to help you not accumulate too much, not actually accumulate too much debt, because a credit card balance is a debt. Because a lot of folks just look at the benefits, they look at the rewards, but they don't pay attention to all the costs that go in the background. So this is really important to actually do your best to follow whatever restrictions the card issuer has in place. Let me talk to you about Citi application restrictions. So when it comes to application restrictions from Citi, basically what they do here is that they actually allow only one new Citi credit card application every 8 days. So every 8 days, that's about what? That's about 3 to 4 times a month. You can only apply for one new Citi credit card, and you cannot apply for more than 2 Citi credit cards within a 65-day window. Okay, and you are also limited to one Citi business credit card application every 90 days. So those are important elements to really pay attention to. And by the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. What are we talking about? We are speaking about credit card application frequency. Okay, I'm giving you tips, tricks, and hacks you need to have in mind so that you are on the right side when it comes to those to those topics. And one thing I want to say here is that Citi, besides Citi, you also have Discover and Wells Fargo. Those credit card issuers also have restrictions. I want to quickly just share with you those. So Discover, based on our research, they limit cardholders to just one new Discover credit card per year, and no more than 2 Discover credit cards at any given time. So this is what it is. And we also have the Wells Fargo application restrictions. So basically, Wells Fargo says that and they say this in their terms and conditions, okay, for their credit cards, they say you may not qualify for a new Wells Fargo card if you have opened a Wells Fargo card in the past 6 months. Okay, and Wells Fargo may also limit the total number of cards opens that are happening at any single time. So again, it's all about making sure that if you are really using the card, you really need it. One thing I want to say here is that the best way to apply this situation to like all those restrictions to your life, you got to ask yourself, How many credit cards do you have at this current moment? And if I want to get an additional credit card, do I really need the credit card? Okay, what is quote unquote the business sort of motive? What is my motive behind this? Because it's not just about opening a new credit card because you want to open a new credit card or because you want to seize a pre-qual offer. No, it's about, hey, listen, how would this benefit me? Am I going to travel more in now than in the future? I mean, travel more than in the past, and what kind of cars will help me actually improve my situation or better my situation. So those are things I want you to really think about. So the bottom line here is what when we talk about credit card application frequency, we are speaking about a routine, a discipline that allows you to actually monitor your credit history. Because when you really think about it, a credit card, once you open it, you're gonna have to spend, right? You're gonna have to use it because you don't just open a credit card because you love the credit card format so much, you love the picture on the credit card and blah 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 blah. No, you're going to use the card, and when you use the card, you have to think about your CUR, your credit utilization ratio. Where is it at? Are you currently in a good category, or are you just like, I could do better? So those are really important things you have to think, because right now, when you think about opening multiple credit cards, maybe it's for you, maybe it's for your business, or maybe it's for your boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, your spouse. But the thing is, it's important to really see your situation and see how your current situation applies to to the need to have another credit card, okay, to have a new credit card. And sometimes your credit card application may be denied based on nothing more than bad timing. So if your credit score is high enough for the cars you want, it's smart to wait until you are clear of any issuer restrictions before applying for the best chance of acceptance. And to actually boost your chances of approval, just go to a branch. Don't apply for a credit card online. Just go to a branch and have a conversation before. Okay. So although waiting weeks or months between credit card applications might feel frustrating, it's a better alternative to getting declined and losing credit score points from the hard inquiry than having to go through the process all over again later, right? It's just a pain. So if you let's say if you have already got, let's say, a top rewards credit card in your wallet, try using your waiting period to see how many rewards you can earn and redeem. And if you would rather focus on credit building than rewards building, make sure that you are practicing credit habits like paying in full and on time every single month. Every single month, okay? So this will really help you in the long run, especially when it comes to boosting your chances of approval on future credit cards. And to close to this conversation, please make sure that you constantly pay attention to your CUR and DTI, your credit utilization ratio, and your debt to income ratio as you're trying to find the best solution, the best credit card application frequency, because a credit card is just another form of liquidity, okay? And it may not be actual cash, but it is another form of liquidity that you are actually having, and that you need actually to boost your business chance, your business prospects. So those are really, really important. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about credit card application frequency. So I gave you a few pro tips, okay, and also give you a bonus explaining to you the credit card issuer restrictions and what you should really learn from those and move on with your life. Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.